Morning students. Yesterday we started with the demonstration of the practical work, in which I demonstrated to you the identification of three colored ions that were ferrous ion, the salt of which were green in color, ferric ion, the salt of which were yellowish red in color, and the copper ion, the salt of which were blue in color. Today we will start with the identification of a colorless ion. In today's demonstration, I will try to demonstrate to you the identification of a lead cation, that is Pb2 positive ion, and zinc cation. The criteria for observation will be same, that is the color of the precipitate in sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, and solubility in lesser amount and in excess of sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide. As was discussed with you earlier also, in the identification of the lead ion, what we take the salt solution. To the salt solution, we add sodium hydroxide. First of all, the salt solution was divided into the two parts. That means it was taken in the two test tubes. Test tube first and test tube second. So, in the first test tube, we took the salt solution. To the salt solution, we add sodium hydroxide solution. What we observed? Insoluble white precipitate of lead hydroxide are observed. Name the precipitate obtained, lead hydroxide. What is the color? White precipitate. Now dissolve the precipitate in excess of sodium hydroxide solution. What do we observe? The precipitate dissolves. Why? Due to the formation of sodium plumbite, as was discussed and told to you in the theory class. So lead ion in the sodium hydroxide form white precipitate of lead hydroxide, which are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Now in the another test tube, we will take the salt solution again. To this we add ammonium hydroxide. Insoluble white precipitate of lead hydroxide are observed. Dissolve the precipitate in excess of sodium hydroxide solution. The precipitate remains insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide solution. So lead salt solution, precipitates are lead hydroxide, they are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide but insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Then another one will be the zinc ion. Zinc salt solution will be taken in the test tube. To this we will add sodium hydroxide. What we will observe? Gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide are obtained. Dissolve the precipitate in excess of sodium hydroxide solution. The precipitate dissolve. Why? Due to the formation of a sodium zincate. So zinc ions forms gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide, which are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Now to the another salt solution, we add ammonium hydroxide solution. What will be observed? Gelatinous white precipitate of zinc hydroxide. They are soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. So zinc salt solutions, they are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide and the ammonium hydroxide. If the question is asked, name the metal cation whose precipitates are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide and ammonium hydroxide, these are zinc ion. The cation whose precipitates are soluble only in excess of sodium hydroxide but insoluble in ammonium hydroxide will be lead ion. So we will demonstrate to you how to identify the lead ion and the zinc ion. You can see over here, we have taken in the beaker a lead chloride solution. What will be the ion over here? The lead ion. Then in the another beaker, we have taken a zinc chloride solution. What we will be doing, we will be identifying one by one the zinc ion and the lead ion. So in one of the test tube, what we have taken? We start over here with the identification of a lead ion first of all. In the test tube, we have taken the lead salt solution. How it is to be identified? By the use of sodium hydroxide and the ammonium hydroxide. So you can see over here, first of all, we will be using a sodium hydroxide. You can see on the bottle, sodium hydroxide is written. It is a solution of sodium hydroxide. What we will be doing, we will be adding sodium hydroxide to this salt solution. Just see over here, when we add sodium hydroxide to the salt solution, insoluble white precipitates of lead hydroxide are observed, and when we dissolve this in excess, the precipitate dissolves. I think I must be very clear. First of all, we added sodium hydroxide solution in the lesser amount. Insoluble white precipitate of lead hydroxide are observed. When dissolved in excess, the precipitate dissolves. Now, we will try to identify through ammonium hydroxide solution. Through ammonium hydroxide solution. Ammonium hydroxide will be this one over here. So, we will try to identify by adding ammonium hydroxide. You can see again over here, we have taken the lead salt solution. To this lead salt solution, we now add a ammonium hydroxide solution. This is a reagent bottle containing ammonium hydroxide. How will we identify this? We will take ammonium hydroxide and add into this. Just see over here. We will take ammonium hydroxide and add into the lead solution. What do we observe? You can see over here that in excess of ammonium hydroxide solution, the precipitates are settling down as a solid on the lower portion of the test tube. So, they are insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. So, lead salt solution forms lead hydroxide precipitate which are insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide but are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide solution. Name the white color precipitate, lead hydroxide. Name they are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. Why? Due to the formation of a sodium plumbite. Now, in the second identification, we will try to identify the zinc salt solution. This is a zinc salt solution. In this zinc salt solution, first of all, we will be identifying by addition of a sodium hydroxide solution. As we all know, zinc salt are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide and in ammonium hydroxide. This is zinc salt solution. We add sodium hydroxide. Just see the difference. Over here, it is gel-like white color precipitate. Over here, in lead, it was a clear white precipitate. Just see the difference of the color. Then over here, in zinc salt solution, when we dissolve this, zinc hydroxide will be formed and the precipitate are soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide solution. Just see the difference. They are gelatinous precipitate and they get soluble in excess of a sodium hydroxide solution. Just see over here, they are soluble. Now, we will take the another test tube B, and this will be identified by adding ammonium hydroxide solution. So, over here, we add ammonium hydroxide into this. Just see again over here, a gelatinous white precipitate are observed. When dissolved in excess, the precipitate gets soluble by dissolving in excess of ammonium hydroxide solution. You can see the precipitates are getting soluble. So, we over here has got the lead ion and the zinc ion. Both were the colorless white color precipitate. Just see over here the difference of color. This is a lead ion, soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide but insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Zinc ion they form gelatinous white color precipitate which dissolves in excess of sodium hydroxide as well as in ammonium hydroxide. So today we have done with you identification of lead ion and zinc ion. By now we have identified in the two discussion how to identify the ferrous ion, how to identify the lead ion, how to identify the zinc ion, copper ion and ferrous ion. I am demonstrating by showing the color to you. This is a ferrous salt solution, a green colored salt solution. This is a ferric salt solution, a yellowish green color salt solution. Then we have a copper salt solution. These are blue in color. Then we have lead salt solution. These are colorless solution, or you may, and then zinc salt solution. These are again the colorless solution. We have identified with you by now the 5 radicals: ferrous, ferric, copper, cupric ion, lead ion and the zinc ion. Now in our next demonstration, we will try to identify the 2 leftover cations, radicals in the syllabus. These are calcium ion and ammonium ion. By then, you thoroughly revise the work which is already discussed with you in the theoretical lectures and now demonstrated in the practical work. The equation for the same are given in the book and has already been discussed with you. So I expect you will be revising your work. When you come to the lab, you virtually will be doing these practicals in the laboratory. Thank you.